Right, welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It's 8th edition, it's Challenger Scorpion, and Aaron Allen's come down, a debut for him on the channel, and a debut for a new army as well. Deathwatch will make their appearance in this episode. They've taken allies to help them out, and they will be taking on the Tau in this game. So Tau Empire fighting here, their first game on the channel for 8th edition. So fighting across this lush landscape here, number of palm trees growing across the landscape, some tank traps, and then an Imperial store here, ammunition dump has been abandoned, but Deathwatch and their allies have come into the area and they will collide with the might of the Tau Empire. Alright, so 2,000 points of Tau. I think this is, well, it's experimental. It may be close to the army that I'm going to aim for here, but generally the structure of what you see is what I'm hoping to take. It's 2,000 points of Tau. It's 6 command points. It's battle forged, and then taking a battalion or detachment here. So 2 HQs. The first one is the Imperial. No upgrades for him. Then Commander Pinpoint is back. He's been remodelled. He's been kitted out with 3 fusion blasters. I do rate those weapons now in 8th edition. And then he also has multi-tracker upgrade for him, so be on reroll 1s if he fires all his weapons at the same target. And then 2 gun drones accompany him as well. I haven't got enough gun drones painted up at the moment, so every drone that you see will be a gun drone. These are modelled as missile drones, but they will be gun drones during the game. The only ones obviously on the Ghost kill will be specific drones for him. Then we'll cover troops in a moment, just elites here. 3 crisis battle suits, each of them armed with 2 fusion blasters. They have taken 2 drones each as well, so that's 6 drones in total. That's gun drones, and then they're armed with multi-trackers as well, so they'll be on reroll 1s if they fire at the same target. Then the next elite is the Ghost Kill, Cyclic Iron Raker for him, 2 fusion blasters mounted on top as well, 2 drones, and then advanced targeting system as well for him. That will just knock down the AP by a further -1, just giving a bit more punch to his weaponry. Then we'll cover the Storm Surge here. It has increased quite dramatically in points, but it will be a real test here to see how good it is in 8th edition. So cluster rocket systems for him, 2 smart missile systems, 2 flamers, 4 destroyer missiles, then pulse driver cannon is the weapon I've gone for, the main armament for him, and then early warning override, so he's got a bit of intercept available for him, and then I have given him the shield generator, so 4+ invulnerable save, and then also the advanced targeting system for him. Then heavy supports, I've gone for 2 broadsides, and they're both armed with high yield missile pods and smart missile systems, so kicking out 16 shots each. Also giving them advanced targeting systems, so their AP drops by a further 1, and 2 drones for them each as well. So that's the heavies and elites section of the army. And then onto troops here. So units of 6, 4 strike teams. Each of the leaders here does have a Markerlite, so there's a Markerlite in each of the teams. The 2 units there at the back have taken the DS8 tactical support turrets. And then finally 2 units of 6 breachers, and then the leader for each of those I have given a Markerlite to him as well. So there's 6 Markerlites in the army, and they're buried inside their infantry units. So it's quite well balanced. It contains, there's no Riptide by the way, it's gone, but it does contain most of the units I really like for the tower. But it'd be interesting for them. They'll be taking on the Deathwatch here and their allies. So we'll take a look at Aaron's army now, see what he's brought along. Right, so Aaron Allen's come down and he's brought his Deathwatch along. They're very nicely painted indeed. He's rushing to get the army finished but doesn't want to use unpainted models here. So it is Deathwatch as a primary detachment, and then we've lent some Imperial Fists to assist in this fight against the Tau Empire. But Aaron's going to run through what he's brought along.
This is my 2,000 points of Deathwatch and Imperial Fist allies. I've got a patrol detachment for the Deathwatch, 2 HQ slots of a Chapter Master and Watch Captain Artemis. Then I have a 6-man kill team with 2 frag cannons, a Deathwatch shotgun. They'll be coming down in a drop pod. And then I have a 5-man kill team, 2 melta guns and a flamer in that one, and they'll be travelling in the Corvus Blackstar, which has the twin assault cannon, 2 storm strike missile launchers, and the Auspex array and a hurricane bolter. Then the Imperial Fist allies have a chaplain in Terminator armour, 3 Centurion Devastators with 2 las cannons each and Centurion missile launchers. Then 2 10-man tactical squads. 1 squad has a plasma gun, the rest are just armed with bolters. 1 squad will be travelling in a Rhino, and a Storm Talon with twin assault cannons and Skyhammer missile launcher.
Right, so that's the army here. Be exciting to see when Aaron gets the full 2,000 points done. That is the aim. He does have a 2,000 point army. A number of units almost finished, but this is what he has so far. So Imperial Fists have been sent to help in this most noble cause. But we'll go on to scenario and deployment next. Okay, so the scenario is no mercy. It is kill points here. Puts the Tau at a bit of a disadvantage. I'll explain that a bit later on. But Aaron won the roll-off here, so he's gone for Dawn of War deployment, and we'll be deploying at this end of the table. And then the Tau will be deploying across the other side. So points are available for Slay the Warlord. And then Linebreaker is available as well, and First Blood. So we're going to deployment now. We alternate placing units on the table, and then once that's done, we'll be ready to move on to the start of the game. So we're going to deployment now for these units. Right, so just to mention the battle map that we're using in this game, it's called Meadows of War. It's by GameMat.eu. They produce some very nice battle maps indeed. This is 6x4, so perfect for games of Warhammer 40,000. And it's made on this mouse mat material here, so rubber on one side, and then material that they've printed to design on top. It's very nice and quiet for rolling your dice, and then figure friendly as well. If your figure falls over, lead one or fine cast, it's not going to get damaged on that softer surface. Just lay the mat down, and you can see that the terrain just gets placed on top of the main bits. There's some shrub and some rocks that blend in really well. You can hardly tell the difference between what's printed and what's not, and that all blends in nicely and just gives you a really nice backdrop for playing your games on there. So you can check them out. It's GameMat.eu. They produce terrain as well that you can use in your games. Alright, so deployment done. Deathwatch and Imperial Fists, more of a spread here across the table. So Centurion Devastators, we are going to play the rules for craters here, so we're going to let them count as being inside the crater, so they will get +1 to their cover. Just to mention the other cover, just going to ignore the woodland here, any woods that you see, we're just going to treat as line of sight blocking terrain, same as the hills as well, just to make things easy. We'll play the rules for obstacles here, tank traps for these, but there's plenty of space for the one tank on the table to move around, so can't see that being a problem. And then just really line of sight blocking terrain. It makes things nice and easy here for this game. So Storm Talon gunship deploying on the left hand side, flyers now deploying on the table. Corvus Blackstar on the right hand side, and there is a kill team inside. It's the squad with the 2 melters and flamer, and then Artemis has joined them. Rhino here, full squad of 10. They've not gone into combat squads, obviously here for the scenario being kill points. The plasma gun is in with that squad. Other squad of 10 just here. Centurion Devastator's just in the middle, as we've seen. Just cover reserves here for Aaron's Blackwatch. So these inside the Rhino, these inside the Corvus Blackstar. Deep striking here with the Terminator Chaplain Titus, and then inside the drop pod is this squad here, and the Watchmaster has joined them. Then come around the other side, the Tau deploying as planned. So Tau gun line here, bristling with Fire Warriors and Breachers. So 2 units here. Now these have the DS8 support turrets. There is room here to deploy them once the game gets going. Ethereal just here. Another Fire Warrior squad just there. Another one just there. Then Breachers here, along with one of the broadsides. Same again on the left-hand side. And then there she blows. The Storm Surge deploying just there. So bristling with firepower. Be interested to see how the Deathwatch and Imperial Fists try to deal with this Tau gun line. So some reserves here for the Tau. We'll just cover those. So DS8 turrets still to deploy. Then Commander Pinpoint here with his fusion blasters. They will be deep striking down here as well with the crisis battle suits. Right, then the Ghost Kill you can see is gone. Just checking the rules for him, he does not have Manta Strike, so he can't deep strike down. So it's only those 2 that are going to be deep striking. So I have deployed the Ghost Kill on the table. Just show you where I've put him. So I've put him over here on the far left-hand side, just as a distraction. So he's quite a distance away from the gun line, which is all the way across there. And he's just threatening this flank here. Just something else for the Deathwatch to deal with. So that's where the Ghost Kill has deployed. So we just talked about the scenario here. It is kill points. And we have noticed here for Tau, with drones, that when they deploy, the drones have to deploy in coherency. And once that's done, the drones then become a separate unit that can be picked up for kill points here. So each of these little drone units here, this squad of 2 as they've become, will be a separate unit. So some easy pickings here for kill points. 18 in total for the Tau and about 12 for the Deathwatch. So Tau need to be careful of that. May well be able to pick up some easy points against them. So I'm not going to say difficult scenario for them, but that is an advantage for sure for the Deathwatch in this game. So deployment is finished. I wouldn't mind season initiative, so we'll give it a go. Get a 6, a 1, and we will not use a reroll. We'll be happy. We'll sit here and see what the Deathwatch decide to do. So turn 1 coming up, the Deathwatch and their Imperial Fist allies will make the first moves. Right, so on to turn 1 movement here. Flyers zigzagging across the table. So Corvus Blackstar has ended up over here. Aaron getting set up here for some strafing attacks against the Tau gun line. Holding here in the crater with the Centurions. Tactical squad moving up just behind the bushes. So line of sight blocking terrain will help out some of the Space Marine units. Moving around here with this Rhino. Remember there's 10 tactical Marines inside. And then zipping across from the other side of the table, the Storm Talon has moved across this way and is going to go after the Ghost kill. No Deep Strikers coming down this turn at all. Aaron's holding them as a tactical reserve for now to see what the Tau decide to do, perhaps with their Deep Strikers. So a bit of wisdom there, not to play all of his cards straight away. So that is movement finished. No Psychers for either side. We're going to go straight into shooting now for the Deathwatch on turn 1. Okay, so on the shooting phase here, some clever tactics being used. So Storm Talon gunship's going to fire down. Now, the way the rules work here for units of drones, you're deploying coherency and then the drones straight away become a separate unit. So that means they can be targeted here straight away. So Aaron is going to split his firepower. The twin assault cannon will go after the drones. He's going to try and take them out first and then fire the Skyhammer missile launchers here at the Ghost kill. He is within 12. We're going to have to work out what benefits and minuses. He is on +1 to hit units that can fly. Both of these units here can fly, so an advantage here, +1 to hit them. So he's going to fire 12 shots down here with the assault cannon. That doesn't get the +1 to hit, and he's going to fire at the drones. It will be -1 to hit them. He is because of their stealth field generators. So that means he will be on 4s to hit them. And then the rocket launchers here, the Skyhammer, they do get +1 to hit units that can fly when he fires down here. But we'll fire 12 shots here in 4s to hit these drones. Got a feeling they could be in trouble unless he doesn't roll too well. So just the 3 hits coming through, and then he'll be on 3+ to wound. They all wound though. That's good. And the AP -1. Yep, so we're on a 5+ to save these. Oh, what's a good start from the Tau. Using my Tau dice, and you can see why. 1 5 and 2 6s. So that's a good start. He has declared the shooting, so now the Skyhammer missiles will have to fire down at the Ghost kill. He will get a bit of protection here. So yeah, so he's on 2s to hit because of the bonus there, but the drones are still alive, granting a -1 to hit. So back to 3s to hit here with 3 shots. Oh, now I just remind you, do have stratagems if you so wish, but it's quite early in the game. You only have 3 of them. Just going to save them. Okay, save them for later. And then strength 7 these, I believe. So 3s to wound, toughness 6. No, nothing. So not a scratch here. Surprised at that. I thought some damage. Was expecting the drones to be blown away, and then potentially some damage coming through. But the unit's been set up as a distraction, and that is exactly what it's done. So that's that shooting. We'll go on to and see what the Corvus Blackstar can do with its shooting. Okay, so Corvus Blackstar is going to fire down here. The Storm Strike missiles will fire down at the broadside, and then the Hurricane Bolters and the Twin Assault Cannon is going to fire at this squad here, going to try and pick up a kill point against them. So 3s to hit here with the Assault Cannon. We'll let Aaron roll up for those. Nice lot of shots to get with this. So that's pretty good. And then it is Strength 6, Toughness 3, so 2s to wound here with these. God, that is incredible dice rolling. How many? 3 6s, 3 5s, a 4 and a 3. So powerful dice. These dice are good for whoever uses them. We're on 4+ armor, drops to 5+. With the -1, we save 2, but he does kill 6. So first blood and a kill point picked up here. A chunk of the Tau gun line has been bitten off. Yeah, so just saying, Hurricane Bolters, their shots now have been declared there, but Aaron saying he wanted to make sure of the kill, so that's fine. He's picked up 2 points there, so that's well done. And these points that are picked up, they cannot be lost. So however the game goes, you will get 2 points here, at least. So now the rockets, so it's 2 shots at him, needing 3s to hit. 2 2s this time. The dice have turned against you this time around. All right, so that's the shooting from the Corvus Black Star. It'd be interesting to see now the Centurion Devastators. I wonder how well they'll do, and I wonder who they may fire at. Right, so Centurion Devastators, they are expensive. Just been talking about the points for them. Aaron's going to direct everything against this. So reasons for that: kill point available. The firepower is pretty nasty, and he just wants to try and eliminate that. Now the drones, I see what he's doing here. It's not just a kill point. He's playing it so that these will use their saviour protocols and potentially pick up 2 kill points if they are all destroyed. So he's going to max out firepower at this first broadside. Okay, so he's going to fire the rocket systems first. I think he's going to try and strip the drones away if we decide to use them. Got some decisions to make here. So 3D3 shots coming through. So that is 5 shots. Not too bad. Yep, freeze to hit here against the drones. Okay, 3 hits. Strength. Yep. 8. Okay, so 2s to wound them. Oh, so, no, it's freeze to wound. He's rolled 3 5s, so that's fine. The shots are being declared against him. He's not rolling to wound the drones here, but actually the broadside. Right, okay, so we're toughness 5, so he has wounded 3 times. Got to try and play this so that we survive is the key, which means I'm going to try and take the hits without using saviour protocols. Oh, man, this is risky. Right, so a 2+ save becomes a 4+ save for the AP-2. 4 pluses. Right, so that's 2d3 shots going through. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use one of my command points to try and pass this, which we do. All right, so only 1 wound comes through. It is D3 wounds, so let Aaron roll this up. Just the 1. Okay, that's paid off so fast. Now las cannons firing through. The aim there was las cannons firing through. Use the saviour protocols to try and absorb some of those shots. Okay, so 1 wound coming through here. It's good going for the Tau at the moment. We've used up our reroll. So it all depends now on how many of these las cannons hit. Aaron does get 6 shots. He hits with 2. He could. No, I'm not going to say he could kill it because the drones should be able to intercept that. So those 4 have missed. Just 2 shots coming through. Do you want to use a reroll? You can, if you wish. No. Okay. Good. So we'll let you roll up here for wounding. It's strength 9. You are rolling to wound against the broadside, so it is freeze to wound here. The 2 wounds do come through. I will sacrifice the drones here. They will both die absorbing those hits from the las cannons. So they've done their job, but that's another kill point picked up. Okay, and with that, that is the end of the shooting phase and the end of the turn. There's no charges to do. So we've seen a display of firepower here with mixed results, but some kill points picked up. That is good news for the Deathwatch and their allies here. Unit Fire War is gone. Drone's gone from here. Not sure how many more turns he'll be able to survive, but the Tau gun line is still here. It's not gone for sure. And the Storm Surge is ready to deploy its anchors and commence firing. So we'll go on to the first turn now for the Tau. See what they decide to do. See if any of their deep striking reserves decide to turn up. It's all quite tactical here at the start in this game. So turn 1 coming up now for the Tau. Alright, so movement for the Tau here on their first turn. Gun line pretty much remaining stationary here, getting ready to use the marker lights here in each of these squads, not moving just to keep them at their normal ballistic skill. I've played Storm of Fire here for the Ethereal, so units within 6 will get to reroll 1s with their shooting. That's all of these units here, so that is a helpful bonus there from the HQ. Have deployed the DS8 tactical support turrets just there as well for the units in the crater. Then with the Ghost Kill advancing or shifting to the right here, just to get within 9 inches here to improve the odds of causing damage there for the 2 fusion blasters, but not advancing too far yet, just trying to keep a healthy distance from the other marine units there in the distance. And then around the other side there is a lot going on. Commander Pinpoint has arrived with his crisis battlesuits. Okay, so they have arrived here. They're over 9 inches away from the Rhino, Tactical Squad and Centurion Devastators. Drones just here, they are a separate unit now. Crisis Battlesuits just there. Commander an inch away, just here. And then the 2 drones, they should be just like so. Well, they can be in coherency, it says they deploy, so that's fine. They're fine there, but they will be treated as separate targets and units from now on. Just trying to... I think they're the primary target. We can knock them down. They'll be a hard unit to kill. A 2+ save, +1 for being in cover as well. But we are armed with fusion blasters here with these tower units. So we'll kick off here with the Crisis Battlesuits firing here. They do have multi-trackers, so reroll ones. Going to get 6 shots. I'm going to go after the Centurion Devastators here. So 4s to hit, and that's exactly half. Have hit their target. 3s to wound. I'm going to use a command point here. We do have 6 of them. Well, that is a 6 hole facing, so that is 3 wounds coming through. That just helps out. I want as many wounds to come down as possible here. So 3 wounds coming through. It is AP -4. That will give Aaron a 6-up save, but +1 we will get it for the crater. So 5 ups here to try and save these wounds from coming through. Now it will cause D6 points of damage if any of these wounds do break through. So yeah, 3 5s to save. None. This could be nasty here. Yeah, just discussing it here. He's not going to go for the reroll for this time around. It's 5s you would need. So D6 points of damage each. I'm going to roll 1 at a time. So the first Centurion takes 4 wounds. He'll absorb all of them and he's gone. The next one, just the 2, which means the other D6 is going to have to go through against him. It is a 3. So 2 Centurion Devastators brought down here with firepower from this deep striking crisis team. Alright, so next we'll use the Commander across here. 3 fusion blasters. We do get that dreaded 1. So we'll use the multi-tracker ability here to get the hit. It is helpful. 4s to wound. Triple 2. It was 3s to wound, but triple 2 is a fail. So Commander Pinpoint has messed up here. No rerolls available, so no wounds coming through. Miraculous here. 1 Centurion Devastator does survive. That is a good turn up here for the Imperial Fist allies. So gun drones have just resolved their firing. Not too bad here. Tons of shots coming from these, causing a load of wounds. Aaron failing 3 saves. So Marines, they're the closest unit. Just for the rules now for drones, they have to fire at the closest target. They were closer to here, but the models removed meant that they became the closest. And then across here we did cause a wound against the Rhino just there. That's the closest target for these 2 drones. Just here. So the Tau Manta Strike units have arrived here and immediately causing trouble. Not as devastating as we hoped, but they certainly have made their presence known on the battlefield. So it'd be interesting to see how the Deathwatch decide to deal with this here, whether they go for the gun line or whether they try and take out the Tau units and their commander just here. It's interesting. We'll go on to the Ghost Kill now, see what he can do. Alright, so the Ghost Kill here, it is within 9 inches. We're going to start off with the 2 fusion blasters against the flyer. So hard to hit here, so we'll need 5s. We'll get to reroll 1s though with multi-tracker. That's quite tough actually, but we do get 1 hit. So toughness 6, strength 8, 3s to wound. Yes, we do. AP -4, so armor save will be gone. We are within close range, so we're going to roll 2d6. And choose the best. We choose the 5. So 5 wounds caused here on the Storm Talon gunship. Okay, so the Raker will go overcharge. We have to roll to see how many shots we get. We do roll the dreaded 1. So we only get... so it's quite unreliable here. Can roll really well, can roll terrible. So 5 or 6 failed. So the Raker has failed to make an impact here. But the 2 Fusion Blasters helping out with the wounds there on the Storm Talon. So that's the shooting done from him. Not too bad, but still a fair way to go. How many wounds have you got there on a... 10. It's a 10 wound model, okay. So we'll go on to the rest of the shooting here. We'll let the Tau gun line erupt here against the Deathwatch and their allies. Okay, so rest of the shooting phase resolved here, and it's been interesting. Deploying the anchors here at the end of the shooting phase, you don't get the bonus this time around, but next turn be +1 ballistic skill. Granting reroll 1s here from the Ethereal helped out a bit. So pulse rifle fire coming up from these squads against the Corvus Black Star here caused a couple of wounds. Then fired at him with this one here as well, firing up. And then the 2 DS8 turrets fired as well. And that's... oh yes, and also the Storm Surge, the cluster rocket system fired. Fired all 4 of the destroyer missiles, which all missed, needing 5s to hit, which was a shame. So we're just trying to get those mortal wounds, but fired too early, I reckon, and failed to achieve any hits there. And then the smart missile system fired as well. And in total, we caused 6 wounds here on the Corvus Black Star. So it is still alive and well, so Aaron will be happy with that. Then we did fire the pulse driver cannon across the table. Did get 2 wounds here against the Centurion Devastator. Aaron on a 5+ cover save, and he rolled a 5 and a 6, keeping him alive. So that was an excellent result just there. The Centurion Devastators survived. Morale's been done. Didn't need to do it for him. Tactical squad has passed morale just behind the hillside, just over there. So shooting phase done for the tower. All their reserves are here, so the entire tower army is on the table, but Aaron still has reserves to arrive. So I think a little bit disappointed with how well the tower have done so far, but it's early stages yet as we go into the second turn. So turn 2 coming up next. Be fascinating to see what the Deathwatch decide to do with their turn coming up now. Right, so we're on the second turn here for the Deathwatch. It's still really yet to appear. There's a unit inside the Corvus Black Star here, and then Aaron deciding whether to bring down the drop pod as well. You can land that pretty close to the tower gun line. He's going to some decisions to make those. It's tough. Here he's softened up the gun line to some degree, but generally it still remains intact. Anchors are down now on the Storm Surge. It has fired all of its destroyer missiles, so that option's gone. We were really hoping for some hits there to try and bring that flyer down, but it does remain alive. And then round here, a bit of an exchange going on here between the Storm Talon and the Ghost Kill. Aaron's got decisions to make now whether to go after this with the Marine squads or whether to turn and deal with the Crisis Battlesuit and Commander. So, just to mention the terrain here, chain link fence, do plan to do a tutorial for that very soon. Then the containers, here's a painting tutorial for those on the channel. Then here, this is terrain from GameMat.eu, and I've just been repainting it here to match in with my Skitari, so do plan a tutorial on that. And then for the palm trees as well, there's a tutorial available on the channel if you want to copy those. I think they look quite nice here on this terrain. But Deathwatch on the move. I'm interested to see if the drop pod comes down. Doesn't have to bring it down. It's interesting now the way reserves work. You have more control over them for sure, to do with when they arrive and then also how they actually deploy as well. It's a lot safer now to bring deep strikers down onto the table. All right, so movement for the Deathwatch here. Aaron was going to deploy down here. He's decided to go more aggressive here, so he's pivoted with Artemis and the kill team still inside and headed straight towards the tower gun line here, and then they will get some support. Then the Storm Talon pivoting and heading off in this direction. We have marked its damage there just with a puff of smoke to show that it is on the first damage bracket. Then here, drop pod has arrived and disembarking, staying just over 9 inches away here with this kill team. And then the Watchmaster is there, and the Chaplain, who fits in quite well with the Deathwatch here, has turned up also. Just going to try and eat away at the tower gun line, bite some more chunks off of this tower defence. Going to ignore the ghost kill to some degree this turn. Just Aaron sees the opportunity to converge his units at this point on the main tower gun line. We'll go around the other side, see what he decides, or how he's moved here against the Crisis battlesuits. So Rhino moving round, disembarking the tactical marines. There's a lot of marines here to shoot and potentially charge here at Commander Pinpoint. May well spoil his plans here with these Imperial Fist Marines moving through. The other squad's advanced, and then here wisely staying inside the crater. Multiple options, could fire in this direction or may well lend some fire support up towards the tower gun line. So that is movement done for the Deathwatch, and the Imperial Fist allies will go on to their shooting phase next. Alright, so we'll start off the shooting of the Corvus Black Star. Very nice model it is. Big size to it here on the table, and great now in 8th edition is you can split and fire at all different targets. He has an array of different weapons here suited to different target types, so very helpful. Going to go for the twin assault cannons onto the breacher team. Potential kill point there. These hurricane bolters are going to go after the drones, another potential kill point, and the 2 rockets will fire at the damaged broadside just here. So again, opportunity to pick up some relatively easy kill points here. We'll start with the twin assault cannon. 12 shots here. Needing freeze to hit. So number of misses here, but all specs array. Aaron's going to re-roll the ones that he scored, and they all hit. Typical. So 2s to wound here. Strength 6, toughness 3 on the breaches. They could well be in trouble here because a good number of 1s. We should survive this. We have 6 saves to make. Should be able to absorb this damage. But 5+ on our armour. We saved 2. 4 of them have been brought down. So 2 of them left. There will be a morale check for them later on if they're not picked on by anything else. Hurricane bolters, we reckon they get 12 shots here in rapid fire range. So rapid fire 6 becomes 12. He's going after the drones. Should be able to take them out quite easily. Do you get all specs array for this? You do? Okay, so rerolling 1s. So that's incredible. Be on 4s to wound here. Strength 4, toughness 4. So that should be plenty. There's no AP minus on these, so 4s to save. Nope, we have gone. So drones destroy. They do count as a separate unit, and that's a kill point picked up. So Storm Strike missiles next into him, with no drones to protect him, so he could be in trouble. Freeze to hit. Do you get it for this one? All specs are re-rolls. Okay. And he does get the hit, so 2 hits come through. We're toughness 5.
Strength hit.
Okay, so freeze to wound. Probably wants both of these to go through. Nice. Very good.
-3.
-3. So 5 pluses. We do save 1. How many points? It is a straight 3 damage. Do we use a reroll here? Yeah, yes. Oh, it doesn't quite pay off. And it's a straight 3 damage. So he's not dead yet, but taking some significant damage just here. So that's the flyer done. He has done well. A spread of shooting here across the tower gun line, picking up a kill point, almost wiping out a breacher squad, and then almost destroying one of the broadsides as well. So not bad here. Pressing the tower. At the moment, tower firepower being matched by firepower in return. So we'll press on with the rest of the shooting here, see how well the Deathwatch can do. So just capturing this here, the Storm Talon, more tactical shooting coming through. The Twin Assault Can, 12 shots, really is good. It's going after the 2 breaches here to try and pick up another kill point. And then the Skyhammer missile launcher is going to go after him to try and knock him down. He is almost dead as well. So double kill point opportunity here. The Flyers, have to say, have done well here for the Deathwatch and Fists so far. But 12 shots coming in here against the breaches. They does look like they're in trouble. So freeze to hit here with the special rule that Storm Talon gets. So not too bad at all. 2's to wind, strength 6, toughness 3. Just a couple of fouls, but we'll be on. It's -1, isn't it? This one. Yep. So 5s or 6s. Sure, almost, but not enough. Right, breacher team gone, and another kill point picked up. Tau, as yet, still haven't picked up a kill point. So confident in our gun line, but that confidence is gradually being nibbled away here by the Deathwatch and their allies. Okay, so Skyhammer, missile launcher into the broadside. 3 shots. Yep. They all hit. Nicely done. Be freeze to wound. We're toughness 5. Yep. They all do. Gosh, it's good dice rolling here. What's the AP minus on this?
It is a -1.
-1. Alright, so 3+ saves here. Oh, no, we fail with 2. And the damage?
D3.
It's D3. We're doomed. I think we're guaranteed to be killed here. Yep, so he's gone. Broadside killed. Mission accomplished here. Pilot radios in. Imperial Fist ally reporting targets eliminated. Okay, so rest of the shooting here. This squad, supported by the Watchmaster and the Chaplain, have managed to take out the breaches. So they're gone. That's another kill point that has been picked up just there. 2 shots here from the drop pod coming through, but no damage done on this squad of Fire Warriors just here. So it is pretty good here, the display of firepower. The Tau gun line shrinking. All breaches have been destroyed. Nasty units they can be potentially, but Aaron has specifically targeted them. You can see why. The armour penetrating capability of them with their -AP2 would be a threat towards the Marines just here. So he's gone after them and eliminated those. One of the broadsides brought down. I think that is the firepower left. All the firepower done that's to come in against the Tau gun line. Remember, we still have the shooting to do, which will resolve against Commander Pinpoint and the Crisis battlesuits. Okay, so shooting resolved around the other side here, and as you can see, it has been very, very good indeed. So, again, aiming for kill points and to strip away the protection for these, firing down with this squad against the drones, and bolters only from this squad as well has destroyed them, and then a crack grenade from the sergeant failed to kill, but 2 plasma hits coming through and wounding and killing the 2 drones just there. They are treated as separate units. They've been picked on here. Then that left the way open for the Centurion Devastator to fire through, but just caused 1 wound with a las cannon. Everything else failed to come through, and they're rolling a 1 for damage, just a wound taken on the Crisis battlesuits. Rhino fired as well down here at the commander. 2 wounds caused, but 2 saves of 3+ made. So it's utterly horrendous here. Commander Pinpoint in shock at the response here from the Imperial Fists. They've been entrusted here to protect this area, and they're doing very well indeed at the moment. But we'll go on to assault phase next. Shooting has been an excellent display from the Imperium so far, but now the Innate Edition is free to charge at different targets than the ones he chose for shooting. So we'll go on to assaults, get some Overwatch resolved next. Okay, so Overwatch done. The Rhino charged first, did cause 3 wounds here from a fusion blaster hit coming through from the commander, and the Imperial Fist charging in. One of the Fists lost here on Overwatch, but everything else has made it into contact. So you can see the Marines piling in here against the Crisis battlesuit and commander. So Commander Pinpoint in trouble here, potentially, but he's surrounded by Crisis battlesuits here, and they're all carrying a fair amount of wounds. That's charges done. There's no charges across the other side. Targets that could have been charged have actually been destroyed. So we'll go on to combats next here. So Rhino's going to fight first here.
3 attacks.
Yep.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. 5 attacks here with the sergeant and a couple of Marines fighting against the commander. So they'll need 3s to hit. Just the 2. And then they'll need 5s to wound. He is toughness 5. Does get a wound. 3+ save. Want to keep him alive? No. This is the melee phase. Right, that's it. 3+. Oh, blast. Commander Pinpoint's been winged here by the Marines. So we're on. Resolved all of this. Now it's 15 attacks in total from these Marines and the Sergeant against the Crisis Battlesuits just here. So 3s to hit and then 5s to wound them. That is a good round there so far. Now wounds. Let's pick up a nice lot of wounds. There's a good few in there. Yeah, no, that is pretty good. So 3+ saves. We want to pass at least 3 of these. Pass all of them except 1. That's a good round. So a wound taken just here. Okay, so the Commander Pinpoint fighting back. 3s to hit with his weapon skill. 3s to wound. Yes. 3 saves here of 3+. Oh, good rolling here. Power armor holds. It'll be 7 attacks in total with these, including the chest frame. These will be on 5s to hit. Excellent roll there, really, for them. 2 wounds coming through, so 2 power armor saves to make. And passes them as well. Got armor holding mostly here for both sides. Morale is none. We haven't lost any models from here, so these melees will continue. Thankfully, we do have fly, where we will be able to pull out potentially and shoot and possibly charge. So we'll check the rules for that. But that's combat's resolved over here. That does mark the end of the second turn. Have to say the Deathwatch have done well, and so have their allies. The Imperial Fists here really chipping in and giving a good account of themselves here along the Imperial back line. So it is going well here for the Deathwatch, but the Tau have a chance now to respond, and they must respond well, otherwise they will slide towards defeat possibly quite rapidly. We'll go on to the second turn now for the Tau. They have no reserves to call upon. They'll have to fight with what they've got, and it'll have to count here, otherwise they'll be in trouble. So turn 2 coming up next for the Tau. What will Commander Pinpoint do in this situation? Alright, so on to the second turn here for the Tau. They do have a plan. It's just pretty much to fire all weapons and cause the most amount of damage possible. It is an uphill struggle for them. We reckon the amount of kill points that are being scored here by the Deathwatch and their allies, Tau may need to go for the wipeout here in order to secure victory. Because if Aaron picks up enough kill points here, and the Tau will just not be able to do the same amount in return, and therefore they will need to go for the wipeout. So it looks like a difficult task for them, but we'll see. Just trying to limit the damage is the key. So, Storm of Fire granted here by the Imperial, rerolling 1s. It'll apply to all these infantry units here. They've remained stationary. Remaining stationary here, the anchors are deployed last turn, so +1 ballistic skill now for the Storm Surge. So, we're going to try and erupt with firepower here. The key is to try and bring him down, and then possibly shoot at the contents inside, and then over here to try and reduce these down before they can get too close with their frag cannons. So that's the plan for the gun line, what's left of it. And then across here, the Ghost kill, again, trying to keep a healthy distance, just moving into in range to fire his fusion blasters. Probably will need to take out the drop pod here just to pick up kill points, so he's moved to that position, but trying to stay away and not get too close to these Deathwatch units. Then around the other side here, Pinpoint and the Crisis Battle Suits leaping over and out of combat, over the top of the Marines, landing just here. Options for them, possibly to fire in here and destroy him, and then with any remaining weapons, fire into here and then charge, thus denying the Space Marines their chance to fire if Aaron pulls out of combat. Just trying to play it tactically here. It's roughly evens in points values, so it'll be interesting to see how this fight goes. And the game has broken down now into two fights. There's the one at this end and the one at the other end as well. So it's Tau offensive units against the defensive units of the Imperial Fists, and then it's the exact opposite around the other side, the Tau defensive units trying to survive here against the assault units of the Deathwatch and the Imperial Fist. We're going to shooting phase now. Critical turn here for the Tau. If they don't do well, they are in trouble. If they have a good round, they could wrestle the game back. Right, so the way we're going to play it here, 2 fusion blaster shots at him, the other 4 into these Marines, just hoping we can take him out with a good roll. So 2 shots in 4s. We don't get we do get reroll ones because he's firing all of his weapons at the same target. We do get a hit. 3+ to wound. Yes. So 1 5+ save does get the benefit of the crater here. Needs to make this, so there could be trouble. No. D6 points of damage. It is a 1. Hold it right there. Stratagem. Come on. 5. That's enough. Well done. So kill point picked up and a key target eliminated here. I do like stratagems for 8th edition. They are helpful. The Centurion Devastator has been eliminated here by one of the Crisis Battle Suit members. So the others facing this direction, 1 turns with orders radioed in from Pinpoint, and mission accomplished. The Centurion Devastator has gone. So next bit of shooting, 4 shots here from these in 4s. Just the 1 hit. Do get a reroll of 1 though. So rerolling the 1. Misses. 2's for a kill. Yes, so 1 Marine kill, that's AP -4, so 1 Space Marine gone. Right, so Commander Pinpoint's going to go after the Rhino here. I want to catch it before it may try and make an escape. So 2's to hit. Reroll this 1 for multi-tracker. Yes, 3 hits. 3's to wound. 2 of them do wound. It's 2d6 damage, choose the best. We'll choose the 5. And we'll choose the 5. That's 10 + 4. The Rhino has been destroyed here. So that's decent shooting from the commander. Let's roll dice to see if we get an explodes. So getting explodes out of that as well. Commander Pinpoint, pretty good here. How he used to be rubbish, probably the worst character on the channel. He's trying to claw his way back here. He's rearmed himself, and he is a bit meaner than he used to be. He's done well. All right, now hold it right there. Each unit within 6 inches, D6 mortal wounds. Idiot, got too close. So Commander Pinpoint, he had his moment of glory. Oh, he's still alive. He's taken 2 mortal wounds, and the explosions are horrendous now if they do go off in 8th edition. But 2 mortal wounds being dealt out on him. Mortal wounds on these. 6. Oh, that's horrendous. And then this squad just here, they're in range. 5. Oh, I've never seen anything like it. A huge detonation here. Pinpoint, perhaps scanning The Rhino here noticed ammunition, live ammunition stored inside, and has pinpointed that mark, detonating the Rhino here, and 11 Space Marines have been wiped out. Utterly horrendous. All right, so that's the scene of devastation there. So we lent Aaron the Imperial Fists, and I filled up the Rhino with a load of high explosives. There's a booby trap's gone off here. Detonated. I've never seen anything like that. That's a shock result there from Commander Pinpoint, but that has put them clearly ahead in this battle just here. There'll be morale tests to do if some bad rolls come through. You can see these Marines disappear from the table as well. We'll press on the rest of the shooting around the other side. That's a good turn up here for the tower. Okay, so we're just in the middle of shooting at this end. It's going from good to better here for the tower. Pulse driver cannon firing through. We are on +1 ballistic skill. We rolled a 6 for number of shots, so 3 shots. 2 of them have hit, 2 of them have wounded the Corvus Black Star here. So it is 2d6 points of damage. Oh, it's 11. Oh, what a turnaround. This typical Warhammer 40,000, you think the game's going one way and then it can swing the other, and it's done so in a very, very dramatic fashion here. But Corvus Black Star comes crashing down. The pulse driver cannon has cut it in half. Okay, so we've placed the Corvus Black Star here. The wreck won't count as anything. It won't block line of sight or movement at all, but just for cinematics, it does look good. And then here, disembarking with Artemis and the Deathwatch kill team just here. But excellent result here from the Storm Surge. And it is very helpful now that we were hoping to bring that down to let the Fire Warriors fire into the models just here to try and reduce them down. So chance for the tower to do that. We'll resolve the rest of the shooting here with the Storm Surge. We have declared the rest of its shooting here. Yeah, so the smart missile system, I had declared that into the Corvus Black Star, so that can't shoot. But the cluster rocket system is going to go into this unit down here. The flamers I was going to declare into the Corvus. Can't do that now because that's been brought down. And that is it. So just the cluster rocket system to fire to try and reduce these Marines down. 46 shots. Not too bad. So we're on freeze to hit here, and we do get to reroll 1s. It's not too bad at all. These are at strength 5s, so they'll be on freeze to wound. And these come through at AP -1 thanks to the advanced targeting system. So 7 saves of 4+ to make here. So Aaron will be looking for a pretty good roll to try and keep these alive. 4 pluses, there's a few brought down. Alright, so 4 casualties on this squad just here. So casualties removed, the 2 frag cannons still alive, but the rest of the Marines there have been stripped away from that squad. So we'll press on the rest of the tower shooting. Still the Fire Warriors to fire. They've got choices now which direction to go, to their left or to their right. And then we still have the broadside and also the ghost kill as well. We'll get the rest of the tower shooting resolved now on their second turn. Alright, so rest of the shooting resolved here. The key moment was the Storm Tannon being brought down. That was firepower from the broadside here coming through. Number of wounds been dished out by the high yield missile pod, and then the final wound from the smart missile system. So that one has been destroyed, needing 5s to hit and rerolling 1s. Then Fire Warrior squads firing through. 2 squads here, loads of shots, but Aaron passing loads of 3+ armor saves, but has reduced that squad down by some degree. And then here we had to fire the other Fire Warrior squad across in this direction. Managed to take out one of the frag cannons, but one of them does remain. So it has been a good display of tower firepower. The question is it enough? And the other question is, has Aaron picked up enough kill points already to keep him ahead? We'll have to see. Has picked up a lot of points. Tower, I reckon, is still behind, but they have dented this Deathwatch army for sure. Imperial Fists have taken a battering as well, so the game's definitely still on. So we will go on to assaults next. The Tau do have some assaults to do, so roll up some charges and Overwatch next. So assaults taking place. 3 Fire Warriors brought down. The Flamer from this squad took out 1. Took out 2, and then another one was lost from a melter gun hit. Now we've charged in, we've kept within range of the DS8 turrets. That will stay alive as long as one of those Tau Fire Warriors remains alive. And then across here we didn't charge this one, otherwise we'd end up leaving the turret where it is and it would count as destroyed. So that's charges done. Then around the other side here, we're not charging in. We are going to see if these just melt away. They're going to add 6 to each of their morale rolls, these two squads. They could well disappear of their own accord due to bad morale. So Pinpoint and the Crisis team just watch to see what happens. So combat's resolved here. We lost 2 Fire Warriors, did get to go first, didn't even hit there, but one of them has survived. Now if he holds for morale, which he should with the Ethereal nearby, then that's locking them down, reducing those 2 melters for their shooting. So a bit of tactics there for the Tau gun line. Tau Fire Warriors being brave here to try and deny the Deathwatch those deadly melter gun shots. Right, so morale resolved here. We hold with the Fire Warrior, thanks to the Ethereal just nearby. And then across here, we didn't charge in to see if these would melt away, but Aaron rolling pretty good. 2 frees, only lost 1 from each squad, has kept them alive. Could have easily gone the other way, but there's only 2 of them left now, so it looks like the Tau have won the fight at this end of the table. They may well be able to secure line breaker at least and keep the commander alive. So really the game will pivot on the fight at the Tau gun line, and then possibly the Tau needing to go for the wipeout as well. But that marks the end of their turn. It has been a good turn from them. They've responded well with some exceptional dice rolls going on, some crazy results. We saw the detonation of the Rhino, the Storm Cannon brought down, the Corvus Black Star brought down here by the Tau firepower. So they're giving a good account of themselves. Both armies, have to say, doing very well. So it's been an excellent match-up here. We'll go on to the 3rd turn. Can you believe it? 3rd turn only at the moment. And both armies losing. Well, there's just heaps of casualties off the table at the moment. But we'll go on to the 3rd turn now for the Deathwatch. Difficult situation for them. We'll see what decisions they make next. Right, so movement phase done here for the Deathwatch on their 3rd turn. So Artemis moving out, he's going to take on the broadside just here. This squad going to stay in combat. If they pull out, they can't do anything. So he's going to try and stay in and pick up a kill point there against that Fire Warrior. Then here, 12 inches moved, so 6 plus 6 with an advanced move. We'll be able to shoot the assault weapon here with this Deathwatch team member. Not sure who's going to go after. Maybe pick up, try and shoot at one of the softer infantry squads. And the Watchmaster on the move, Chaplain on the move as well. Quite slow, but may well be able to reach in combat, especially here with the Watchmaster. Then around the other side, just shifting a little bit here just to get within closest model at the commander. Aaron planning to shoot, potentially charge against him. So that is movement phase done. Limited in numbers now though on the table, so they need a good round here. If there's any chance of breaking the tower here, it's at this point here. Right, so shooting phase finished here. Artemis flamer firing for Bolter. 4 saves we had to pass. Failed one of them, but used a stratagem to reroll and pass. So no damage done there on the broadside. Then across here, 3 Fire Warriors brought down in total. That was damage coming through from the frag cannon and the weapon on him, and also from the chaplain as well. But a little bit disappointing with the damage coming through from there. That Fire Warrior squad still remains alive. Then round here, no damage at all done against Commander Pinpoint. So that is shooting phase finished. We're on to charges next for the Deathwatch on their 3rd turn. Right, so charges going ahead. Overwatch from the commander and from these with for the greater good special rule, but no hits at all coming through. So both the sergeant and the marine with the plasma gun have made it into contact with Commander Pinpoint. All right, so charges taking place. Pretty good here actually from the Deathwatch. So melee continues here. Artemis going in. Did take a nasty missile hit here and has taken 2 wounds from the broadside on Overwatch. Across here, Overwatch causing no damage at all. The Watchmaster, an excellent roll for him, 9 inches charged, 9 inches needed, 9 inches he got, exactly. And then charged in here as well, supporting fire coming in, but causing no damage. Those 2 have made it in. So 1, 2, 3 Fire Warriors left. Aaron trying to go for another kill point just here. And Chaplain too far away. So that's all the charges done. We'll work out combat resolution here next. Okay, so combat's resolved here. Artemis failing to cause any damage here against the broadside. No damage inflicted on him in return. Down here, 2 saves required for the Fire Warrior and the DS8 turret. Past both. No damage done in return just there. So stalemate here at the moment on this side. Then across here, the Fire Warrior squad was destroyed. The Watchmaster killing 2, and then the Deathwatch Marine here just killing 1 as well. So another kill point picked up. Reckon Aaron's picked up a good number of them. But Tau, I reckon they're in position to pursue this idea of going for the wipeout here. It has drawn in the Deathwatch Marines close to the Tau here, and they've got a chance to fire back and bring down some of their models, but it's a tough task. A number of characters have plenty of wounds to get through, and a number of individual units. There's 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5 drop pod to try and get through as well, so it's not easy here for the Tau. Storm Surge remains alive though, that very intimidating model, still at full strength here on the table. Then across here, no damage done here from the Tau Commander, but 2 wounds taken. We had to take 2 saves, failed both. We've used up all our stratagems, they're gone. So Pinpoint has taken 2 wounds here from the Marine Sergeant and the Plasma Gun Marine as well. So that marks the end of the 3rd turn here for the Deathwatch and Imperial Fists. They've bounced back to some degree. It's interesting, points-wise they're winning, but they're out of shape here on the battlefield. Their numbers seriously depleted, and that's the danger for them. I'll hand over to the Tau now on the 3rd turn, barely reaching the halfway stage of the game, and it looks like turn 5 or 6 here already. But we'll go on to the 3rd turn now for the Tau. We'll see if they can continue this good run here. I reckon we need to play it that we go for the wipeout. That's the best option, I think, available because of the amount of kill points that have been picked up here by the Deathwatch and their allies. So 3rd turn for the Tau next. So just talking about 8th edition here, and saying that agreeing that the shooting phase is very streamlined now. There's no templates and scatter and those things, and it speeds things up. It makes things flow along, and areas where close calls and things can be made because of things that are inside templates and so on. That's all gone. So we are getting the impression here that 8th edition shooting's nice and streamlined here, as is most of the game here. So simplified, but still, it's still the 40k, I think, that we all know and love. But we'll press on here, let the Tau make their move now as they pursue victory, possibly, in this game. Right, so movement here for the Tau. A chance for the army really has been shrunk here. Look at the gun line's just been decimated here by the relentless attack here from the Deathwatch. But pulling out of combat here, so can't shoot with him, doesn't have fly. Pulling out of combat here with the Fire Warriors, they'll not be able to shoot, but it's freeing up the targets to let the Storm Surge let rip at them. There is a full squad just here with their turret ready to shoot just inside the crater, just there. Then moving across, not getting too close to the chaplain here, but moving in this direction here with the Ghost Kill. He does have this target to destroy, and then later on to move in this direction to lend fire support as well. And then around the other side, pulling back using advanced moves here. So 8+1 we rolled for him, and then 6, so 14 inches moved with the Crisis battle suits. So you can imagine the Imperial Fists here, the Sergeant sinking to his knees in utter depression as the foe that he was fighting has now pulled back a long distance away from him, and then still in range here to be shot at by fusion blasters from there. So what a way to go here for the last of the Imperial Fist allies here. It is, yeah, just these 2 remain. No, not forgetting Chaplain Titus there, camouflage in his black armour over there, but he is part of the Imperial Fists detachment. But we're going to shooting phase next, hoping to wipe out these. And then we're shifting this direction to try and lend fire support perhaps, because it's still really the mid stage of the game, and then destroy those, and then we'll see how well the Tau can do here. It all hangs on the Storm Surge at the other end of the table. We're going to shooting phase next for the Tau on turn 3. Alright, so shooting phase finished, as good as we could expect really from the Tau. They have done pretty well. No damage here. Now it's a quirky situation here. The Storm Surge, we're going to try and pick off all these characters, but we can't do that. We had to fire at closest targets, and we had to declare all the shooting. So we fired Pulse Driver Cannon and Flamers into the lone frag cannon marine just here, he's gone, and then we fired cluster rocket system and smart missile system into this squad here and eliminated them, but we couldn't pick on the characters. We had to declare our shooting at other units, so that's them gone, but it kept the characters alive. And then across here, the fire warriors firing through with the DS8 turret as well, causing 3 wounds, have dealt out a total of 5 wounds here on the Watchmaster. So he's in trouble. He's got 1 wound left for him. Chaplain's been unaffected. Drop pod destroyed by the ghost kill. And then over here, easy pickings for the commander and the battle suits. They've picked off the last of the Imperial Fist Marines just here. So winning the battle at this end, is it enough to win the game? It's going well for the Tau, but still victory may not be in their grasp just yet. We'll go on to assaults next. So just looking at combats here, we're not going to charge with anything. So it's all down to the Deathwatch now for them to decide what to do. It's trying to pick up kill points. Maybe they've done enough, but it's also trying to stay alive now, and we're only going on to turn 4, so difficult task for them. We'll go on to their 4th turn next. Okay, so movement done here. Artemis moving in. It looks like he's going after the Ethereal for trying to pick up a kill point. Watchmaster closing in against the Fire Warriors. And then across here, Chaplain's turned around and is going after the Ghost kill just there. That's it. The 3 models left on the table have moved here for the Deathwatch and Fists. So we'll go on to shooting phase next for them. Okay, so shooting phase finished. Number of hits coming through. The Ethereal passed 2 saves, 5+, so he's not taking any damage. And then across here, no damage coming through from the Watchmaster, and no damage coming through here from the Chaplain. So we'll go on to assaults next for the Deathwatch on their 4th turn. Alright, so charge is taking place. Artemis made it in. He took a wound here from Overwatch from him, and then across here the Watchmaster's gone. That was the Fire Warriors volume of hits coming through. 1 save was required, it has been fouled. The last wound taken, he's gone. That's a kill point, and Slay the Warlord picked up there as well, so that's one of the characters brought down. Just Artemis and Titus left. Sounds like a title of a book here, but they are the only 2 left here, 1 representing each of the armies. Deathwatch represented here, Imperial Fists represented over here. Trying to charge in, no damage taken on Overwatch, but has failed to reach into combat, needing an 8. So we'll get this combat resolution here against the Ethereal done next. Right, so combat's resolved here. 4 hits here of Artemis, but then a 1-1 and a 2 rolled for wounds here, so not a scratch on him. Artemis here just failing to find the mark. Ethereal did get a couple of hits but failed to do any wounds. It's a standoff between those 2, and that is it. So that marks the end of the 4th turn for the Deathwatch and the Imperial Fists. We'll go now on to turn 4 for the Tau. Okay, so movement done here for the Tau. The Ethereal backing out of combat and leaving Artemis stranded here on 2 wounds left at the foot of a Storm Surge there, who Artemis will definitely count as the closest model now. Broadside holding position. Fire Warriors holding position. That's where they started in the crater with their DS8 turrets, and that's where they still are just about. It's been a desperate fight here at the Tau gun line. Then moving 8 inches and advancing, rolling a 6, so 14 inches moved here by the Crisis Battlesuits, and it puts the lead model within 18 inches of the Chaplain just here. So we'll be able to let off a shot here with Fusion Blasters, and then getting ready to fire here with the Ghost kill as well. Commander Pinpoint holding position just up there just to secure line breaker. So we'll go on to shooting phase next for the Tau on their 4th turn. So Artemis here, then every unit here will fire all guns into him. What a way to go. It's really going to create a crater the size of this one just here as everything fires. So we'll start with a... Now we don't want to get too overconfident here because that Chaplain does need to be destroyed. So we're going to fire him into Artemis here. The broadsides have done pretty well in the game so far. So we're going to grant reroll 1s here with the Ethereal's Storm of Fire special power. So not quite within 6 here, just measured it, but still we need 4s to hit. 3s to wound. Yes, an advanced targeting system. Aaron is on -2 here from the high yield missile pods. So 4+ invuns, saved one but not the other. D3 points of damage. It is a 6. Artemis is dead. Alright, so Chaplain Titus here. We'll fire 2 fusion blasters at him first of all. We do get the 1 hit. We do get a wound. So 4+ invun save for him. A 5 passed. Alright, so we'll go for 2 fusion blasters now from the ghost kill. Re-rolling 1s. Yeah, we do get the re-rolling 1s. Got the multi-tracker system. So cock dice. Roll it again. Nope. Toughness of the chaplain. Just checking if he's toughness 5. 4. He's toughness 4, right. So it is 2s to wound. We do get the wound. Another 4+ invun required here, or there'll be trouble for Titus. He fails on a 1. This is it. It's a 3. He's still alive. So he's still alive here. 5 wounds. He's taken 3. Iron Raker next, needing 4s. Re-rolling 1s. 3s to wound. It is 3 saves here. Yes, just checking here. Do have the advanced targeting system. So because he's allowed to take 2, the ghost kills. We took multi-tracker and advanced targeting systems. So that's -2 here to his armor saves. So he's down to his 4+ invun on 3 dice. Needs to pass 2 of these. Otherwise, we're looking at the end of the game. So a 3 and 2 2s. Chaplain Titus has been destroyed here. Storm Surge was on standby, getting ready to fire with everything, but it didn't come to that in the end. The ghost kill with the final blow here, eliminating Chaplain Titus. Okay, so that marks the end of the game. The Tau have got the wipeout here, which they may have needed. We're not sure of the points here, so it's going to be interesting. We're going to add up the points here to see what the score was. Okay, so we've added up the points here. It was a high score here for the Deathwatch and their Imperial Fist allies. 10 points scored. That was for killing 4 units of Tau infantry. The drones from him, the broadside here, and their drones. And then the drones accompanying this squad as well, and the drones accompanying the commander as well. First Blood also scored by the Deathwatch. That was 10 points in total. But then for the Tau, it was the wipeout. There's 12 units available, so they've all been killed, so that's 12 points. And then Slay the Warlord, the Watchmaster was killed, and then the commander over here securing Linebreaker as well. So 14-10 the final score. Very respectable indeed. And the Deathwatch certainly gave the Tau a good run for their money, for sure. But Aaron will go away, no doubt, meditating on developing his list. He does have other units to come along for the Deathwatch, and maybe we'll see them gel and work better together when it is a pure Deathwatch army. That's the aim, at least. Maybe we'll see them make a return, and they may well target the Tau once again in the future. So there it is, game over. We've seen the debut there for the Deathwatch, and it's nice to see them make an appearance on the channel, and very nicely painted indeed. So big thanks to Aaron for coming down, and we may get to see him again in the future. But in this game here, the Tau gun line held here. The Storm Surge remained in position, and the Tau have prevailed here. And then Commander Pinpoint, do have to say a special mention for him. He led the assault pretty well, got a decent result there against the Rhino, and then helped lead this Tau force to victory. So Tau, a debut for them in 8th edition as well. They've made their mark here with a victory. So there it is. Keep a lookout for more 8th edition Challenger Scorpion games on the channel. But great game. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Okay, so units of the game here. It's been an interesting discussion, and For the Deathwatch, it's the Flyers. Both of them really did well, but particularly the Corvus Blackstar here, just laying down some pretty decent firepower. Did pick up a number of kill points there for the Deathwatch, and a pretty decent way to transport models across the table, and a very nice looking miniature as well. Then for the Tau, Aaron pointing straight away to the Crisis Battlesuits and Commander. It was a decent attack from them. A shock result there against that Rhino. I'm going to give it to Commander Pinpoint. He's been rearmed. He's been made a fool of in other games at times, running off the table and being defeated. Bit of a calamity, but now he has been re-educated and rearmed, and he's a bit more meaner than he used to be. But that's units of the game for both sides.